I was pretty cool in the 8th grade. I had these giant baggy pants that covered my shoes. I had these graphic tees for like Metallica I got from my neighbor. I had this shark tooth necklace I got from Myrtle Beach. I wore that until it stabbed me too much, and I got Hulk angry on him, and I tore it to shreds with my tiny 8th grader arms. And of course, I kept the bowl cut because everybody loves the bowl cut. Everybody loves the bowl, you know what I'm saying? But the one thing I had to cart around to every class was my clarinet. My clarinet was too big for my locker. You see, at my middle school, the locker was like a 2x2 like box that hold like 3 books and like my lunch. And so I didn't really, get to use it for my giant clarinet case. If you know what a clarinet case is, it's huge. At least to an 8th grader. So I had to carry it and put it under my desk every single day. It was not a hassle, honestly. I thought it was pretty cool because it looked like a little briefcase that I got to carry around every class, and it made me look professional. Plus, maybe I had like a secret weapon I could assemble and assassinate someone with, because everybody's edgy in the 8th grade, so it's pretty nice. But all that ended one day. I was walking down the hallway, and suddenly, out of nowhere, out of the blue, my strap breaks. You see, I was going like this down the hall, swinging it like a lackadaisical little boy, but then the strap isn't foolproof, and so it flew across the room, crashed onto the tile, and then grenaded to the far corners of the hallway, which is pretty nice. I really enjoyed that. Didn't cry. In fact, I just got on my hands and knees and started collecting all the pieces like a real man would. And no one helped me, which is perfectly fine. But that's okay, because I didn't want help. I was too cool for that. So as I was collecting it, there was a kid though that walked by, and this is what he told me. He walked by, missed my reads, which was a very nice gesture, and he said, that's pretty awkward. And then he kept on walking. Let me tell you something. When in the history of the world has calling something awkward ever made it not awkward? Let me tell you, 0% of the time. 0%. It's not even a good joke. Think about when your friends react to a joke when you call someone awkward. Somebody trips in the hall and they don't even hear, the awkward person doesn't even hear you. They say, hey, that was pretty awkward. This is how they laugh. That was a good one. Oh, yes, indubitably. No, they don't say that. They go, yeah, I guess. And then you continue with your conversation because it's a horrible joke. It's lazy and it's hurtful if you tell the person that they're awkward. It doesn't even help them. Let's say they're saying a speech. Calling them out while they're on the speech or like giving stand-up and calling them awkward, it doesn't impress anyone at all. Must be raining. So, what's the solution, you may ask, right? What's the solution? Well, let me tell you, there's definitely some ways to help the person that's awkward. You can help them by continuing what their thought was maybe, and they can bounce off of it. You can help them pick up their clarinet from the ground instead of running away. Or you could do what I like to do, which is kind of dial up the absurdity. So let me give you the scenario. You and your friends are around the lunchroom table and you're talking about baseball or something, and that weirdo kid that's like a downer all the time walks over and he's like, yeah, whenever I go to the baseball game, I can never catch the foul balls. Everybody else catches them, but I can't. And this is how he decided to enter our conversation. So you could do like, hey, you're awkward, get out of here. Of course you don't want him in your conversation. Or you could be a nice guy, include him and make a joke. Here's what you say. Instead of, calling him out and calling out the awkwardness of the situation, you could be like, You know, Brian over here, he can catch every shuttlecock in the room with his mouth. Ooh, ooh, and everybody's laughing. That's the best. That's so good. And then you start talking about how, you know, Brian might say, yeah, your mom catches shuttlecock in her mouth too. And it's like, badminton is all you're talking about, but it sounds like something else, which is nice, you know? I guess what I'm trying to say is that everybody has a certain level of awkwardness, right? Everybody in the world. And what you have to remember is everyone else is more self-conscious about their awkwardness anyway. If you tell them that they're awkward, it's just going to cement that in their brain, and they're going to try to avoid that forever. So what you have to remember is that I am not awkward. Even though everything around me might be awkward, even though everything I do might actually technically be awkward, never think you're awkward. Because as soon as you give in, you've pretty much self-fulfilled your own self-fulfilled prophecy. And so you can't do that. Now, people are gonna try to, you know, sweep your leg in the social ground, but you don't give in to that. You do what you wanna do, and as long as it's not hurting anybody, you're doing a good job. I guess being awkward is just a way of life. And either you embrace it or you succumb to it. Now I'm going to actually play some video games.